On January 2, 2025, Israeli airstrikes across the Gaza Strip resulted in the deaths of at least 68 Palestinians, marking one of the deadliest days in recent weeks. The attacks targeted various areas, including a tent camp in the Al-Mawasi district, which was supposed to be a humanitarian zone for civilians. Among those killed were Mahmoud Saleh, the head of Gaza's Hamas-controlled police force, and his deputy, Hussam Shawan. The two were reportedly inspecting the camp when the strike hit. According to Gaza's Interior Ministry, the attack on Saleh and Shawan, both prominent figures within Hamas security forces, is seen as part of Israel's broader strategy to destabilize the region. The Israeli military justified the airstrikes by saying they targeted Hamas militants and their infrastructure. They stated that Shawan was a senior commander of Hamas forces in the southern Gaza area. The airstrikes also struck other key locations, including the headquarters of Gaza's Interior Ministry in Khan Yunis, as well as various refugee camps such as Jabalia, Maghazi, and Shadi, killing additional civilians. Israel's military spokesperson insisted that the strikes adhered to international law and emphasized efforts to minimize civilian harm, claiming that Hamas militants were hiding in densely populated areas, making them difficult to target without risking collateral damage. However, the United Nations and other humanitarian groups have expressed concern over the rising death toll and the destruction in Gaza, which continues to worsen as the war progresses. Philippe Lazzarini, the head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, criticized the ongoing military actions, pointing out that there were no truly safe zones for Palestinians in Gaza. He called for a ceasefire, stressing that every day of continued conflict would only bring more suffering. The airstrikes came amid escalating tensions, with Hamas ally, Islamic Jihad, launching rockets into southern Israel. While one rocket was intercepted by Israel's defense system, the attack added to the ongoing cycle of violence that has gripped the region since the Hamas-led attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023, which killed over 1,200 people and led to the kidnapping of more than 250 Israeli hostages. The humanitarian situation in Gaza remains dire, with over 45,500 Palestinians reported dead and much of the region's infrastructure destroyed. The conflict has displaced the majority of Gaza's 2.3 million residents, who are now living in increasingly precarious conditions. Despite calls from international organizations for a ceasefire and humanitarian aid, the war between Israel and Hamas shows no sign of abating.